How's it going? I just finished a video where I go on a rant about piss poor leaders and how you really need to be careful who you follow, and the different types of situations where getting involved with different kinds of leaders can really screw us over, and basically why it's important that you're really careful who you follow. But to basically stem off of that, I actually wanted to go on another rant tonight, just because I have free time to do so, and there's really not that much time in the day where I really have a lot of free time to make videos. And so one of the things I wanted to talk about that's kind of been on my mind a lot is dealing with insecure men. And of course I'll make a video where I talk about dealing with insecure women too, but right now I just want to focus on the men. Because one of the things that I thought about as I was making that other video about poor leaders is basically working in really, really poor environments. And the thing is that when you talk about dealing with insecurity, and stuff like that, most of the time we talk about it when it comes to women, unfortunately. And one of the things that I've always heard from some of my female friends is that women are basically always competing with each other 24/7. They compete based on their looks, like which one of us looks better, their status, which one of us is getting a better degree, which one of us has a better husband, stupid stuff like that. But one of the things that I've noticed is that what people really aren't willing to admit is that men can often engage in that same type of behavior. Now, what a lot of people will tell you is that, groups of women, or when women collaborate with each other, it's drama, drama, drama. Like, women love drama. Women love to fight. They always love to compete with one another and, stuff like that, which is kind of stereotypical in the first place. But one of the things I've really noticed, too, is that men can be the same way. The stereotype is often that women always fight with each other, but men always get along. And a lot of my female friends have kind of said that. They're like, I wish I was a guy, because guys always get along. Guys are always chill. And I understand their perspective, because I have seen how toxic, girls can be with each other. But one of the things I've definitely noticed is that men can be the exact same way, sometimes worse. And a lot of times when men compete with each other, one of the differences that I've seen between guys on average and women is that, like, women, they'll compliment each other up front and pretend that they're happy when someone gets engaged, or when someone gets a new job, or whatever, some type of good thing. Like, women will pretend like they care and pretend like they're happy, but then they'll talk a bunch of mess, like when that girl leaves. But like when men compete with each other, they don't really hide their feelings nearly as well. Like, most men, like when they're trying to one up each other or whatever, they'll usually insult a guy right to their face. Like, let's say like a guy gets a new promotion, and when a guy wants to one up him, he'll straight up say it. He'll straight up say something stupid like, well, you didn't deserve that job, man. I don't know why these people were stupid enough to give it to you. Like, it's like insult straight to the face. Guys will basically like tell how they feel, like, right up front. Versus I've noticed that, like, women will talk behind each other's back. But either one is incredibly childish, because both behaviors are basically coming from insecurity within. And so one of the things that I want to talk about is how childish men can act when they're insecure. Because throughout my life, I've dealt with a lot of really, really insecure men. And oftentimes when I'm on social media and I'm watching like these YouTube videos of these so-called like alpha males and stuff like this, and stuff like that, all I really see is men trying to show off what they have or what they've achieved, because they're insecure with themselves, because they have to feel better than other men, and many times feel better than other people, and they have to feel dominant. They have to feel like they're at the top of the hierarchy. And this is just something that I've noticed that men can be really bad at too. You know, when it comes to insecurity and constantly competing with each other, so many of especially my female friends, pretend like that's like female only behavior. Like women are the only ones who are constantly competing with each other, and that's just not true. You know, men are constantly competing with each other too. And I've seen men do some really, really effing childish things, and say childish things and do childish things just to get the one up on some other guy. You know, just to feel like they're dominant, to feel like they're better, to feel like they've done more. You know, it's just, it's so stupid. You know, it's just that the thing is, and I made a video about this too. I'm not sure if I uploaded it or not, but basically I was talking about like what makes a man strong. And to me, any man who's strong on the inside and outside does not need to one up somebody else, does not need to insult someone else to their face or impose their personal values onto someone else or stick it to someone else. You know, like any man that has to basically, you know, assert their dominance on another person, you know, whether that's physically or I guess like mentally too. Like any man that needs to assert their dominance is not a strong man. You know, his strength is something that has to be, you know, internal as much as it is external. Because a man can have like the biggest effing muscles ever and have the greatest agility or the greatest speed or whatever. But one of the things I've noticed is that a lot of men, especially like really macho men who are all big and strong on the outside, are actually incredibly effing weak on the inside. I mean, you say one thing to hurt these men's feelings, or one thing that's against their values or whatever, or their worldview, and they basically crumble down and cry like little bitches. I'm not even exaggerating. Like, and I'm not saying this is only with macho men, but I've noticed that this is common with a lot of men. Like, a lot of men are always trying to make it seem like they have no feelings, like they have no emotions. And you know, that's part of that is, you know, society's fault too, because society is always teaching men that they need to act that way. But this is definitely something that I've noticed, like with men, is that men, they keep their feelings down, but they end up just screwing themselves over in the long run. And so a lot of men, I've noticed, they're really bad. And I'm not saying that women are better, because women, don't get me wrong, women do a lot of stupid shit too. But a lot of men really don't know how to deal with their emotions and their insecurities. And I've seen it manifest into something really, really ugly a lot of the time. And I don't know, it's just like a lot of men, they basically, it's like they reach the age of 12 or 13 and their body continues to grow. Like, they continue to get taller, they continue to get more muscular, you know, they get more facial hair, but it's like a lot of times their brains stay in the mind of like a really immature, like 10 or 11-year-old. And it's not pretty to look at. You know what I mean? Because it's like anytime you see an adult who has the body of like a grown person, you know, like a grown adult, you know, with the wrinkles, taller, you know, like how an adult looks, but then they have the brain of like a child. It's just not good looking. You know, it's not pleasant to look at. It's not pleasant to watch. And I feel like that's basically what it's like looking at, you know, a group of really insecure men who are constantly having to one up with each other, who are constantly complaining, who basically crumble at the slightest bit of opposition. You know, it's just, that's how I feel about like men that are really insecure with themselves. Like, a lot of men out there are really insecure with themselves, and it shows when they have to basically constantly one up somebody else. They constantly have to downplay someone else's achievements. It's just like a lot of insecure men out there, they just they cannot handle when someone else makes any type of success. It's really cringy to look at, and it's cringy to watch. But I've seen this so many times in my life, and I just have to rant about it because it's getting really, really sickening. Just having to deal with people, you know, men and women, who just can't handle the fact that someone else put time and dedication into something, and now they're finally bearing the fruit of their hard work. You know, there's so many people that aren't willing to do half of what other people are willing to do to get where they are in life. And they complain when, you know, people that work hard finally reach some type of success. And this has always been true. This is something that's always been true about people, but it's just so effing annoying to look at all at the same time. And so that's the end of my rant. This video has been about 12 minutes long, so I don't want to go too much over. But if you're watching this video, let me know if you've had to work in environments or be in environments where you have to deal with like a lot of really insecure people, and dealing with, you know, how those insecurities manifest, and, you know, kind of noticing like what those people did poorly, or what did those people do to handle their insecurities poorly, you know, and what they should have done, or what do you think they should have done that might have been able to change the outcome of their situation and stuff like that. So anyways, that's enough for tonight. Have a great day. Subscribe if you want to, and leave a comment below. Thank you.